Okay.
That was from myself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it does have a lot more than that, though.
Okay, let me see. It was just in the middle of mine.
Okay, well, if you see any more, let me know. Okay, so this starts off, it's talking about direct variation and also inverse variation. So whether it says inverse or indirect, that means the same thing. If you see the word indirect, it's the same thing as inverse. When it's direct variation, like if x varies directly as y, it's like they're the same part of the fraction. They both of them in the numerator and equal to each other. I mean, there'll be some kind of factor between them, okay? But let's say, like, you can put it like a k here or something. If it's inverse variation or indirect, they would be in opposite parts of the fraction. One in the numerator, one in the denominator, right? And, you know, if that was all there was, it'd be a k here. Now, of course, we're going to do it a little bit differently, as you know. So let's look at this one. It says A varies directly with B. So we're going to say A varies directly with B. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a subscript of 1 right there, because we're going to have two scenarios. And we're going to work them both together. And in the second scenario, A is going to vary directly with B, and they're going to again be in the same part of the fraction, but in the part that we haven't used yet. So this just means the first, that means the second. So in the first scenario, A is direct to B, and in the second scenario, A is direct to B. And then you just fill it in. If A is 64 when B is 80, so in the first scenario, A is 64 and B is 80, find A when B is 40. So if B is 40, you're going to find what A is. So this is the second scenario, and this is the first. And then you just cross multiply because it's simply a proportion. And then we will simply divide by 80. And so we can get this, what the second A is. So this is really easy. So I know that's 2, and 2 goes into 64 32 times. Questions on that? Anybody? Why don't y'all try number 2? So where it says x varies directly as y, we're going to do x of 1 and y sub 1, both in the same part of the fraction. And then we know we're going to have two scenarios. So we're going to do x of 2 and y sub 2 in the bottom. Okay, first scenario is right here. Yes, we'll go with the first ones. So you put 35 for x and 50 for y. It keeps losing the connection. I don't know why. It's the jack. And then the second scenario, we're going to find x when y is 80. don't know why it's doing that, y'all. It's like it's not being pulled or anything, so I don't get it. So let's cross multiply. So frustrating. What are we going to do after we cross multiply? Divide both sides by 50, right? That's a 5. So what do you get with that? $56. You get 56. Cancel those out, right? 5 goes into 35 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Okay? Now let's look at this one. This one's a little different. It says blues vary inversely as whites cubed. Cubed means to the third power. So blues vary inversely, that says down here, to whites cubed. Now remember, these are sub 1s. Okay? Now we're going to do it. We're going to start with the blues on the bottom. So inverse to the bottom is the top. Okay? So when there are 250 blues, there are 5 whites. That's the first scenario. So 250 blues, and the first white is in the bottom. And you got to cube it. And then it says how many blues are present when there are 25 whites. This is your second scenario. So we want to find the blues, so we don't know that, when there's 25 whites. So the second white is 25. So it goes in the top, and we have to cube it. Any questions on that? Y'all good? Okay. Well, let's cross multiply. So we cross multiply, and then we're going to divide by 25 to the third power so we can solve for our second b. Zach, what does b come out to? 2, you're right. Any questions on that? Anybody?
When you're writing the direction of the top right, what is the inverse?
So like if it's inverse, if they say x and y are inversely related, then if x is in the top, y is in the bottom. Okay? So they're in the different parts of the fraction. One would be in the numerator, one would be in the denominator. Any other questions? Let's flip it over. Y'all do number 4. So is this your setup? Did you get this? Sometimes it just comes back on because it knows I'm going to get mad at it, right? Please, do not know what it's doing. Okay. So then we're going to cross multiply. I mean, nothing is even touching this thing. I do not understand it. So Ellis, what'd you get for the second y? 13, that's right. Everybody get 13? Okay. Okay, try setting up number 5. Maddie, what'd you get for your answer? Looks like you're finished. $9.28. So C, you're right. So what does that look like? It says the cost, well, the cost per person varies inversely with the number of people. Okay, so cost varies inversely with the number of people. Okay, so let's do this. Says it will cost $29 per person if 32 people go on the trip. So you got 29 here and for 32 people. It says how much will it cost for 100 people? So you don't know the cost for 100. Everybody good? I don't think these are difficult at all, do y'all? I think these are sort of fun. Not hard. So you get $9.28. And of course, that's dollars, and it's per person, right? Any questions on that? Want to go with that? Okay, put that away. Take out a sheet of paper, and don't look it up. Just from your memory and your brain, you're going to complete this. So no books, no notes, no calculators, no phones.